Welcome and congratulations on taking the first step on a profound journey. You are here because you understand a fundamental truth that most people will live their entire lives without ever grasping. You understand that the path to a life of purpose, progress, and fulfillment is not a matter of luck, talent, or circumstance. It is a matter of choice. It is the conscious, deliberate decision to master yourself. The way you talk to yourself, the way you use your time, the way you treat your body, it all comes down to habit. Your daily rituals are the invisible architecture of your life. They dictate your behavior, shape your outcomes, and ultimately determine your future. Success isn't about doing one big thing. It's about doing the right things consistently every single day. For most people, life feels like a game of chance. They wake up and they react to the world, letting outside demands and distractions control their day. But the people who win, the people who build extraordinary lives, are the ones who understand this one simple truth. They are the architects of their own existence. They understand that the foundation of success and happiness isn't built on one-time achievements, but on the small, consistent habits they practice every day. Over the next 80 minutes, we will explore 8 daily rituals that can truly transform who you are and how you live. These aren't complicated, hard-to-follow routines. These are simple, practical actions you can start today that will make a real difference in your happiness, productivity, and overall well-being. When you get these daily rituals right, they build a momentum that changes everything. You'll start to see improvements in your energy, your mindset, and your relationships. You'll feel more in control, more focused, and more fulfilled. This is your blueprint for building a life of purpose. This is a master class on how to stop drifting and start directing. This is how you reclaim your power, one ritual at a time. If these ideas are resonating with you, make sure to hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who are ready to build a better life. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have been on a journey to build the invisible architecture of a successful life, a life of purpose and fulfillment. We have established that everything in your life, your success, your happiness, your confidence, it all comes down to habit, to the small, consistent, and intentional actions you take every single day. But before you can build the strong walls of discipline, before you can lay the solid floor of purpose, you must first prepare the ground. You must first master the moment that dictates the entire trajectory of your day. This moment, my friends, is not at noon. It is not in the evening. It is the moment you first open your eyes. This is the most crucial and most often lost battle of your life. The battle for your mind, the battle for your morning. Most people wake up and immediately surrender. They reach for their phone, and in an instant, they allow a world of chaos, demands, and distractions to dictate their mood and their priorities. Their inbox, their social media feed, the endless stream of notifications, they are all designed to hijack your mental energy before you've even had a chance to claim it. By starting your day in this reactive state, you are not steering your own ship. You are a passenger, and you are letting the currents of the world carry you wherever they may. But the masters of their own lives understand a different truth. They understand that the morning is the crucible of destiny. It is the single most powerful time to reclaim your power and to set a course for the day. And the secret to this reclamation is a simple yet profound ritual, the discipline of a quiet reflection. It is the first victory of your day. Let's begin by dissecting the common morning routine, the morning of the autopilot life. The moment the alarm goes off, there is no pause, no stillness, no intention. There is only reaction. You hit snooze, a small yet powerful act of self-sabotage that starts your day with a broken promise to yourself. You grab your phone and you are instantly submerged in a river of noise. You scroll through the news, consuming fear and negativity before your mind has had a chance to fortify itself. You check your email, allowing a list of other people's priorities to become the agenda for your day. You get out of bed and rush to get ready, already feeling behind, already feeling scattered, already feeling like a victim of your own circumstances. This is not a life lived with purpose. This is a life lived in a state of perpetual reaction. And this reactive morning is the single greatest obstacle to a life of meaning and success. It is a profound surrender of your personal sovereignty. You are telling your subconscious mind that your focus, your energy, and your time are not yours to command. You are telling it that it is acceptable for the outside world to run your life. But a great life is not built on reaction. It is built on intention. A great life is not built on chaos. It is built on clarity. A great life is not built on busyness. It is built on purpose. And all of these things, all of this greatness, begins with the discipline to take a pause. The first victory of your day is not what you do. It is what you don't do. It is the deliberate, conscious choice to resist the urge to grab your phone. It is to create a moment of silence and stillness, a sacred space where you are in complete control of your mind. This is your personal fortress. This is your mental sanctuary. This is the pause that allows you to center yourself, to take a deep breath, and to prepare for the day ahead. This intentional pause is an act of defiance against the reactive nature of the modern world. It is the discipline that allows you to be the sovereign of your own mind. It is in this stillness that you will find the clarity to ask yourself the powerful questions that will guide your day. Without this pause, this quiet reflection is just a thought exercise. With it, it becomes a ritual of sovereignty. This pause is not a luxury. It is a human need. It is the act of recalibrating your mental compass before you begin your journey. The moment you wake up, your nervous system is in a state of transition. If you immediately bombarded with stimulation and information, you will put yourself into a state of stress. But if you take a few moments to sit quietly, to breathe deeply, you are calming your nervous system. You are activating the part of your brain that allows for intentional thought, and you are preparing yourself to make deliberate choices instead of impulsive reactions. The pause is your daily reset button. It is your moment to check in with yourself, to ask, how am I feeling? What do I need? What is truly important? This is the moment you reclaim your power. This is the moment you tell yourself that you are in command of your time, your energy, and your focus. Once you have established this sacred pause, you must use it to gain clarity. This is where you engage in a powerful ritual of questioning. Your mind is like a ship. The pause is the moment you get to the helm, and the questions are your compass. They give you a bearing. They give you a destination. They tell you where to go. I want you to use this time to ask yourself 3 simple yet profound questions. These questions form a 3-fold compass, each one directing your focus to a different aspect of your life. 1, the gratitude bearing. What am I truly grateful for today? The first bearing of your compass must be gratitude. This grounds you in a state of abundance and positivity. It forces your mind to see what is already good in your life rather than what is missing. It is a powerful mental tool that shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. When you start your day with gratitude, you are telling your mind that you are full, that you are enough, and that you are ready to receive more. 2, the priority bearing. What is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? The second bearing of your compass is priority. This gives you direction. In a world full of noise and distractions, it is easy to get lost. This question acts as a North Star. It cuts through the endless to-do lists and the competing demands of the world. It forces you to identify the one action, the one task, the one commitment that will have the greatest impact on your life. By knowing this one thing, you have a clear, unwavering focus for your day. 3, the identity bearing. Who do I need to be today? The third and final bearing of your compass is identity. This is the deepest and most powerful question of all. It is not just about what you do, but about who you are. This question forces you to align your actions with your values. It asks you to show up as your best self. It is a daily promise to be the kind of person who is disciplined, courageous, patient, and kind. The act of asking this question, day after day, is the act of forging a new, more resilient, and more intentional version of yourself. The true power of this ritual lies not in the questions themselves, but in the consistency of the practice. You see, this quiet reflection is not just about planning your day, it is about building your identity. The act of sitting in silence and asking these questions day after day is the act of forging a new, stronger character. Think of it like a master blacksmith forging a magnificent sword. The raw metal is soft and full of impurities. The blacksmith places it into the searing heat of the forge. He then takes a mighty hammer and begins to strike it over and over again. The strikes are painful. The heat is immense. But it is in that very process, the combination of heat and force, that the impurities are burned away, the metal is hardened, and the strength of the sword is revealed. Your daily challenges, the demands of the world, the internal resistance, they are the fire and the hammer. And this morning ritual, this quiet reflection, is the act of strengthening the metal. It is the daily practice of building the mental fortitude, the clarity, and the intention that will allow you to withstand the pressure of the day. The more you do it, the stronger you become. Now, some of you may be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have time for this. Let me be clear, this is a lie. It is the most common form of self-sabotage, and it is a complete abdication of your personal power. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time. The difference is in how we choose to use it. We have time for distractions. We have time for social media. We have time for mindless entertainment. We have time for the things that serve no purpose. But we tell ourselves we don't have time for the things that would actually change our lives. This is not a time problem. This is a priority problem. The question isn't whether you have the time, it is whether you're willing to make the time. 5 minutes of quiet reflection is less than 0.5% of your day. If you can find time for TV, you can find time for this. If you can find time to scroll through social media, you can find time for this. The moment you start telling yourself that you don't have time for your own growth is the moment you are consciously choosing to stay exactly where you are. The conqueror does not make excuses. The conqueror makes commitments. The conqueror understands that the investment of a few quiet moments in the morning will pay dividends throughout the entire day. It is a small investment for a massive return. This is not something you do once and forget about. This is a habit. This is a ritual. And like any habit, it must be developed through consistent daily practice. I want to challenge you for the next 21 days. Commit to this ritual. Wake up 5 minutes earlier than you normally would. Find a quiet space. Take a few deep breaths. Ask yourself those 3 questions. What am I truly grateful for today? What is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Who do I need to be today? Do this every single day for 21 days, and I promise you will feel a transformation in your thinking, your confidence, and your ability to take action. You'll start your days feeling calm instead of rushed, focused instead of scattered. You'll feel more in control, more aware, and more aligned with your goals. This is how transformation begins. The small act of starting your day with quiet reflection can lead to big results. It is the foundation for a purposeful, productive, and fulfilling life. Remember this: how you begin your day often determines how you live your life. Make it count. The journey to success begins with this first, most important victory. Next, I am talking about the second ritual, planning tomorrow, today. I want you to think about this question. How often do you drift through life, hoping things will work out? Hoping tomorrow will be productive, meaningful, or better than today. Most people will begin their day in a state of chaos. They wake up and their day owns them. They are a firefighter, constantly putting out other people's fires, emails, text messages, demands from their boss, a flood of social media notifications. They are reactive, not proactive. They are a ship without a rudder, being tossed and turned by the currents of the world, wondering why they never reach their destination. But let me ask you, can you honestly say you've taken the time to decide on purpose what your tomorrow will look like? Because if you don't, the chances are someone else will decide for you. Your boss, your inbox, your distractions. Your day will become a series of other people's priorities. This is the tyranny of the unplanned life. And it is a life of surrender. The simple, powerful act of taking just a few minutes every evening to plan your next day can change the way you live, the way you achieve, and ultimately the way you feel about your life. It is not a chore. It is an act of self-sovereignty. It is the moment you reclaim control. Planning tomorrow today isn't about making a long, impossible list. It's about a simple, repeatable ritual that gives you focus, direction, and a feeling of control. Let's break down the mental blueprint you must follow. Step 1, the evening debrief, the power of reflection. Before you can plan for tomorrow, you must learn from today. This isn't about dwelling on mistakes or beating yourself up. This is a cold, honest, non-judgmental analysis. As a master craftsman examines his work at the end of the day, you must examine yours. Ask yourself some tough, powerful questions. What went well today? What brought me closer to my goals? What went wrong? Where did I get sidetracked or lose my focus? What is the single most important lesson I can extract from today's experiences? What will I do differently tomorrow based on what I learned today? This evening debrief is how you close the loop on your day. It ensures that your mistakes are not repeated and your successes are not left to chance. It transforms every experience, good or bad, into valuable data that you can use to build a better tomorrow. Step 2, the strategic forecast, the art of prioritization. Once you've debriefed, it's time to become the master general. Your next day is the battlefield, and your energy is your army. You cannot win the war by fighting every battle at once. You must choose your battles wisely. This is the art of prioritization. Most people make a list of 10, 15, or 20 tasks. This is not a plan. This is a recipe for overwhelm. Instead, you must become ruthless. You must identify your big rocks, the 1, 2, or at most 3 things that will move the needle in your life. The things that, if completed, will make your day a success regardless of what else happens. To do this, you must distinguish between the urgent and the important. Urgent tasks scream for your attention, but they rarely move you forward. Important tasks, on the other hand, build your future. They may not have a deadline, but they are the bedrock of your success. Your plan for tomorrow must be centered around tackling your big rocks first. Step 3, the act of creation, scheduling your conquest. A priority without a scheduled time is just a wish. The final step of this ritual is to move your priorities from a list into your calendar. This is where you transform intention into commitment. When you give something a time slot, you are telling your mind, your energy, and the world that this is a non-negotiable appointment. You are telling your time where to go instead of wondering where it went. Think of it like this. Would you miss an appointment with your boss or your doctor? Probably not. You must begin to treat your priorities with the same level of respect. Your time is a finite resource. You must become a ruthless sculptor of your time, carving out sacred, protected blocks for the things that truly matter. When you give yourself a blueprint, you free yourself from the chaos of indecision and the tyranny of distraction. The profound impact of this ritual goes far beyond just getting things done. It changes you from the inside out. 1, it reduces decision fatigue. Your willpower is a finite resource. By planning tomorrow today, you eliminate the thousands of small, trivial decisions that drain your mental energy throughout the day. You don't have to decide what to do next. You already know. This frees up your mental bandwidth for the big, creative, high-impact challenges that truly matter. R, it builds unstoppable momentum and confidence. When you wake up with a clear purpose, you immediately start the day with a small, powerful win. You know exactly what to do first, and you tackle it with confidence. This early victory builds momentum, a psychological domino effect that makes it easier to tackle the next task, and the next, and the next. Every time you follow through on your plan, you are keeping a promise to yourself. And every promise you keep builds a deep internal trust in your own abilities. 3, it enhances creativity and spontaneity. This may sound paradoxical, but a well-planned life is not a rigid life. It is the well-organized life that creates the freedom for true spontaneity. When you have your priorities handled, when you know you are making progress toward your goals, you are no longer burdened by the subconscious anxiety of what you might be forgetting. You can relax, you can be present, you can truly enjoy the moment without guilt or distraction, because you know your blueprint is in place. The ritual of planning tomorrow today is your greatest weapon against two of the most destructive forces in a life of purpose: procrastination and overwhelm. Procrastination is often not a sign of laziness, it is a sign of a lack of clarity. When a task feels too big, too daunting, or too unclear, your mind will resist it. But by planning tomorrow today, you break down that daunting task into a simple, single, manageable first step. You create a clear entry point into your day, and that first step is always easier to take than the 100 that follow it. Overwhelm is the feeling that there is too much to do and not enough time to do it. But when you plan, you bring all of that chaos and noise into a single, structured blueprint. You take control. You see that while you cannot do everything, you can do the most important things. And by doing the most important things, you are winning the day. Years ago, I met a man who was an incredible architect. His buildings were not just beautiful, they were solid. I asked him his secret, and he told me, "I don't build my buildings on the construction site. I build them in my mind, on my blueprints, before a single brick is ever laid. I think through every single challenge, every potential weakness, every detail, long before the work ever begins." Your life is the masterpiece you are building. Your day is the blueprint, and you are the architect. This ritual is your daily opportunity to build a life that is not just beautiful, but solid. It is your chance to stop letting life happen to you and start making it happen. So tonight, before you go to bed, take 10 minutes. Reflect on your day. Identify your 3 big rocks for tomorrow. Schedule them. Make a commitment. Because the blueprint of your tomorrow is waiting. And when you commit to it, your conquest begins. Welcome back, and congratulations on taking the next step. We have journeyed far on our path to mastering our daily rituals. We have established the crucial habit of quiet reflection, learned to plan tomorrow today, and understand the profound power of feeding our minds with positivity. But now we must turn our attention to the one vessel that carries all of our dreams, our ambitions, and our potential. The one tool that, if neglected, will render all other rituals useless. I am talking about your body. Your body is the only vehicle you have to carry you through this life. It is the single most important instrument of your success, the engine that powers every thought, every action, and every endeavor. And yet, how often do we take it for granted? How often do we neglect its most basic needs, only to wonder why our energy dips, our focus fades, and our discipline wavers? For too long, we have been taught to treat our minds and our bodies as separate entities. We have been conditioned to believe that success is a purely mental game, a matter of willpower and strategic thinking. But this is a profound and debilitating myth. The truth is, your mind and your body are two halves of a single, powerful whole. A master craftsman knows that a dull saw cannot cut wood cleanly, just as a neglected body cannot produce a clear, focused, and powerful mind. The person who wins is not the one who works the hardest, but the one who works the smartest. And the smartest work you can do, the highest leverage activity you can undertake every single day, is to take care of your physical instrument. This is not just a suggestion, it is a fundamental law of peak performance. This is the ritual of moving your body daily. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the forging of your engine of greatness. Let's begin by dissecting the common mindset that leads to a life of physical neglect. Most people are too busy. They are too busy chasing deadlines, too busy answering emails, too busy putting out fires to dedicate time to their physical well-being. They see exercise as a chore, a drain on their already limited time and energy. They promise themselves they'll get to it one day, but that day never comes. This is a mindset of scarcity, a belief that there isn't enough time to do it all. But this is the most costly lie you can tell yourself. Think of your body as a high-performance vehicle. You wouldn't expect a race car to win if you ran it on low-grade fuel and never changed the oil. Yet, we expect our bodies to perform at their peak while we feed them junk, sit for hours on end, and neglect the most basic need for movement. The result is a slow, silent decay of your potential. Your energy dips, your focus fades, and your discipline weakens. That feeling of being stuck that so many people experience is often not a spiritual or mental issue, it is a physical issue. It is a body that has been neglected and is no longer able to support the demands of an ambitious mind. This neglect is the single most significant barrier to peak performance. It is a choice you make every day to run on an empty tank. But this ritual is your act of defiance against that choice. It is your decision to fuel your body, to maintain it, and to prepare it for the monumental tasks that lie ahead. The power of daily movement extends far beyond the physical. It is a direct lever for your mental clarity, your emotional control, and your willpower. The mind and body are not separate. They are a single, intricate system. What affects one affects the other. When you move your body, you awaken energy. You increase blood flow to your brain, delivering the oxygen and nutrients it needs to operate at its highest level. You clear your mind of the mental clutter, the unproductive worries, and the scattered thoughts that hold you back. It's not just a physical activity. It is a profound mental reset. Exercise releases endorphins, those powerful feel-good chemicals that boost your mood, reduce stress, and give you a sense of confidence and well-being. This is a scientific and philosophical truth. You cannot be consumed by self-doubt and physical movement at the same time. When you are pushing your body, your mind is focused, present, and engaged in a victory. That little victory gives you a sense of accomplishment, and that sense of accomplishment is the fuel for discipline. The most powerful form of self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to do something you hate. It is about building a system where doing the right thing becomes a source of pleasure and empowerment. When you use movement to clear your mind and boost your energy, you are not just exercising, you are building a positive feedback loop of discipline, focus, and self-trust. You are forging the engine of your greatness. The biggest mistake most people make when it comes to daily movement is thinking it has to be intense to be effective. They fall into the all-or-nothing trap. They go to the gym for 2 hours on a single day, push themselves to the point of exhaustion, and then feel too sore and burned out to go back for a week. This is the path of inconsistency. But true power comes not from the intensity of a single action, but from the relentless consistency of many small actions. This is the discipline of consistency over intensity. Think of a river. It is not the force of a single flood that carves a canyon, but the relentless, consistent flow of water over time. The same principle applies to your body. It is far more powerful to commit to 20 minutes of movement every day than it is to commit to a 2-hour workout once a week. Consistency builds a habit. Consistency builds momentum. And momentum is an unstoppable force. Your ritual of daily movement does not have to be a monumental effort. It can be a brisk walk around the neighborhood. It can be a quick workout video in your living room. It can be a gentle stretch while you're listening to a podcast. The point is not to break records. The point is to show up for yourself every single day. Because when you keep that small commitment, you are not just strengthening your body, you are strengthening your mind. You are proving to yourself that you are a person of your word, a person who honors their commitments, and a person who will not be broken by excuses. To make daily movement an unbreakable ritual, you must approach it with a clear, deliberate protocol. This is not about leaving it to chance. It is about designing a system for success. Step 1, connect to your why. Your movement must be connected to a purpose greater than vanity or weight loss. Your why could be to have more energy to play with your children. It could be to have the mental clarity to tackle your most important work. It could be to build the confidence that comes from a strong, capable body. When your movement is tied to your greater purpose, it is no longer a chore. It is a sacred act of self-improvement. Step 2, start ridiculously small. The biggest barrier to a new habit is often the initial friction. Remove the friction by starting with a commitment so small it is impossible to fail. Can you spare 5 minutes? Start there. Commit to 5 minutes of stretching, or 5 minutes of walking, or 5 minutes of jumping jacks. The goal is not to get a great workout. The goal is to build the habit of showing up. Once the habit is built, the intensity will follow naturally. Step 3, integrate with your routine. The most powerful habits are the ones you don't even have to think about. You must make movement a non-negotiable part of your day by integrating it into your existing rituals. This is called habit stacking. Pair your movement with another ritual. Take a walk immediately after you finish your morning reflection. Do a quick workout before you get in the shower. By linking a new ritual to an old one, you make it a natural, automatic part of your life. Step 4, celebrate the consistency. Don't wait until you've lost 20 pounds or run a marathon to celebrate. Celebrate the small victory of showing up every single day. Acknowledge your consistency. Recognize the discipline it took to move your body even when you didn't feel like it. This small act of self-acknowledgement reinforces the behavior and fuels your desire to keep going. Here is a final profound truth. Your self-talk is not limited to the words you speak. Your body also has a language, and it is constantly sending commands to your subconscious mind. Your posture, your breathing, your movement, they are all a form of self-talk. A confident posture, shoulders back, head held high, sends a command of strength to your brain. A slumped posture sends a command of weakness. Deep, purposeful breaths send a message of calm and control. Short, shallow breaths send a message of anxiety. By making daily movement a ritual, you are not just changing your physical state. You are changing the silent language of your body. You are training yourself to carry yourself with confidence, to move with intention, and to breathe with a sense of purpose. This physical self-talk reinforces your mental self-talk, creating a powerful synergy of mind and body that makes you truly unstoppable. Your ritual of daily movement is not a cost. It is the highest leverage investment you can make. A few minutes of disciplined movement today will pay you back in hours of increased energy, profound mental clarity, and an unshakable sense of focus tomorrow. It is the single most powerful way to break the cycle of stagnation and create an upward spiral of progress and success. So, the question is not whether you have the time for this ritual. The question is whether you are willing to make the time. The question is whether you are willing to stop neglecting your most precious tool. The question is whether you are ready to forge your body into a vessel worthy of your greatness. The conquest begins now. We have learned to master our time through quiet reflection, strategic planning, and consistent movement. But now we stand at a critical crossroads. For no matter how strong your habits, no matter how clear your vision, your entire conquest will ultimately be won or lost in one place, the silent, unseen battlefield of your own mind. Your mind is a garden. This is not a metaphor. It is a profound and immutable truth. Every thought, every idea, every piece of information you allow in is a seed. You can either plant seeds of strength, inspiration, and positivity, or you can allow the weeds of negativity, doubt, and fear to take root. The harvest you reap in your life, your results, your confidence, your relationships, is simply the direct and inevitable result of the seeds you have consistently planted and the soil you have consistently nourished. For most people, their mind is not a cultivated garden. It is a mental dumping ground. They allow any thought to enter. They let the endless stream of negativity from the news, the gossip, and the distractions of the world run rampant. And then they wonder why their mind is cluttered, their energy is low, and their progress is stifled. They are not master gardeners. They are passive observers, and because of that, their mental garden is overrun with weeds that choke the very life out of their potential. But you have chosen a different path. You are here to become a master gardener. You are here to become a ruthless gatekeeper of your mental space. This chapter is your blueprint for cultivating a mind so strong, so fertile, and so filled with positivity that it becomes an unconquerable fortress of success. Let us begin by dissecting the common mindset that leads to a life of mental neglect. Most people operate under a profound misconception. They believe their mind is a passive recipient of information. They think they can consume endless negativity, the latest scandal, the most recent tragedy, the fear-mongering headlines without it having a profound impact on their subconscious. They assume their mind is a filter, but in reality, it is a sponge. It absorbs everything indiscriminately. This mental neglect comes at a steep price. A mind filled with the weeds of negativity generates fear and anxiety. It programs you to see threats everywhere, to expect the worst, and to live in a state of perpetual scarcity. Destroys momentum. A cluttered mind leads to a cluttered life. It paralyzes you with indecision and saps your mental energy, leaving you with no fuel to pursue your goals. Weakens your self-belief. When you consume a steady diet of stories about failure, struggle, and limitation, your mind begins to believe that this is the natural state of the world and of your own life. This is not a matter of weakness. This is a matter of pure, unadulterated habit. Just as a physical garden left untended will inevitably be overrun by weeds, a mind left uncultivated will be overrun by the noise and negativity of the world. Your first act of mastery is to recognize this truth. Your first act of power is to declare that your mind is not a dumping ground. It is a sacred space, a fortress that you will protect with uncompromising vigilance. To cultivate a mind that is resilient, focused, and powerful, you must actively apply a series of core principles. These are not just suggestions. They are the laws of the mental garden. Principle 1, the principle of intentional input. You must become a ruthless gatekeeper of the information you consume. You are not a passive recipient of the world's chaos. You are a conscious chooser. This is the time for a mental diet. Stop consuming garbage. The 24-hour news cycle, the endless doom scrolling on social media, these are not sources of information. They are sources of anxiety. Limit your exposure. Curate your feed. Your social media is not a public utility. It is a tool. Follow people who inspire you, who challenge you, who provide value. Unfollow those who drain your energy and fill your head with noise. Choose with purpose. Before you open an app, turn on the TV, or click a link, ask yourself, is this adding value to my mental garden, or is this a weed? Principle 2, the principle of cultivating wisdom. A garden needs seeds to grow. Your mind needs wisdom. In a world of fleeting, short-form content, the true power lies in long-form, concentrated wisdom. Read books. A book is a deep, long-form conversation with one of the greatest minds to ever live. It is a source of profound wisdom that cannot be found in a headline or a social media post. 10 pages a day, consistently, can transform your mental landscape. Listen to podcasts with intention. Seek out conversations that challenge your thinking, expand your knowledge, and provide actionable insights into success and personal development. Principle 3, the principle of the inner circle. You are not just influenced by what you consume, you are profoundly shaped by who you associate with. The people in your life are either rain for your garden or poison for your soil. Identify the weeds. These are the people who constantly complain, who see limitation in every opportunity, and who bring you down with their negativity. You must set boundaries with these individuals. Seek out the rain. These are the people who lift you up, who challenge you to be better, who see your potential before you do. Proactively seek out a mastermind alliance, a group of individuals who share your commitment to growth. The conversations you have, the energy you exchange, it will become the fertilizer for your mental garden. Principle 4, the principle of gratitude as a practice. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is the most powerful form of mental fertilizer you can use. It is the practice of finding the goodness in your life, regardless of circumstance, and using that goodness to nourish your mind. Find the specifics. Don't just say, I'm grateful for my life. Dig deeper. I'm grateful for the strong cup of coffee I'm holding. I'm grateful for the feeling of health in my body. I'm grateful for the challenge I faced yesterday because it taught me a lesson. Feel the feeling. Don't just list the items. Take a moment to truly feel the emotion of gratitude. This is how you change your inner state. Gratitude is a muscle, and the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. It trains your mind to see abundance everywhere, which is the very essence of success. Principle 5, the principle of self-affirmation. You are not only a master gardener of the external inputs, you are also a master orator of your internal dialogue. Your subconscious mind responds to the commands you give it most often. Speak with certainty. Start your day with powerful affirmations. I am capable. I am disciplined. I am unstoppable. These are not empty words. They are commands to your subconscious, and your mind, like a loyal soldier, will work to make them true. Rewrite the script. Every time a negative thought or a weed of doubt enters your mind, you must have an immediate counter-affirmation ready. When your mind says, I'm tired, you must say, I have the energy to push through. When your mind says, I can't, you must say, I am figuring this out. What is the point of all this? The point is not just to feel good. The point is to create a mind that is a relentless engine of success. a mind that is a fortress against negativity, a mind that is a fertile ground for ideas, opportunities, and growth. When your mind is cultivated in this way, you stop reacting to life and you start creating it. You start to see opportunities that others miss because your mental filter is tuned to possibility, not to lack. You have the energy and the focus to take action because you are not leaking your vital resources into anxiety and distraction. You attract like-minded individuals because your positive energy is a beacon, a magnet for those who are also committed to growth. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is the direct and inevitable result of a logical, disciplined approach to cultivating your most valuable asset, your mind. You are the master gardener. You hold the power. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey to an extraordinary life begins with a single deliberate act. A commitment to your mental garden. This is not a temporary task. It is a lifetime commitment. You must constantly be vigilant, constantly be cultivating, constantly be protecting. You have the blueprint. You have the principles. You have the knowledge to create a mind that is a fortress of success. Now, the only question is whether you are willing to do the work. Are you willing to say no to the weeds of negativity? Are you willing to invest in the seeds of wisdom? Are you willing to be a ruthless gardener of your own thoughts? The choice is yours. The time is now. The garden is waiting. Your conquest begins. This is just one of the rituals we're mastering. For more tools and strategies to transform your life, be sure to subscribe to the channel and join our community. Next, I'm talking about your morning. Your morning is not just the start of your day, it is the launch pad of your momentum. The way you approach those early hours determines your focus, your energy, and your productivity for everything that follows. Think of your day like a rocket launch. If the initial launch sequence is sloppy, rushed, and filled with errors, the rocket will never reach its destination. It will veer off course, it will run out of fuel, and it will fall back to Earth. But if the initial launch is precise, intentional, and perfectly executed, the rocket will build the momentum it needs to break free from gravity and soar into the cosmos. Most people fail this launch. They wake up and they immediately surrender their sovereignty. They hit the snooze button, choosing temporary comfort over a new beginning. They reach for their phone, and in an instant, they allow a world of notifications, demands, and distractions to hijack their mental state. They start their day in a state of chaos, and they wonder why the rest of their day feels scattered and unproductive. They are letting life control them instead of taking control of their life. But the individuals who win, the masters of their craft, they understand this. They do not leave their mornings to chance. They design them. They protect them. They use them to set themselves up for a productive, meaningful day. They understand that the morning is the crucible where momentum is forged. This is not about being a morning person. It is about being a person of discipline. It is about understanding that the morning is your greatest opportunity to win your day before the day even begins. And the best part, it doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. A successful morning routine isn't a random list of tasks, it is a meticulously designed ritual built on 7 foundational pillars. These are the non-negotiable components of a powerful start. Pillar 1, the first victory, a consistent wake-up time. The first act of discipline in your day is the moment you choose to get out of bed. Your body and mind crave consistency. When you wake up at a regular time, your body gets into a natural rhythm. You feel more rested, more alert, and more in control. The snooze button is not your friend. It is the first act of self-sabotage. It is the choice to choose comfort over commitment. Your first victory of the day is a decisive no to the snooze button and a decisive yes to your future self. Pillar 2, the anchor of abundance, gratitude. Before you reach for your phone, before you start thinking about your to-do list, pause and anchor yourself in abundance. Take a moment for gratitude. This isn't just about feeling good, it's a strategic act. Gratitude is a powerful energetic signal that shifts your mindset from lack to abundance. It primes your brain to see opportunities, not problems. It reminds you of the wealth you already possess, your health, your family, the roof over your head. When you start your day with gratitude, you are telling yourself, I have enough, and I am enough. This is a powerful mental state from which to begin your conquest. Pillar 3, the mental compass, quiet reflection and planning. After anchoring yourself in gratitude, you must set your course for the day. This is the time for quiet reflection and deliberate planning. Sit in silence, even if it's just for a few minutes. Ask yourself, what is my goal today? What is my top priority? What will move the needle? This is where you, the master of your own ship, check the compass before setting sail. You identify your big rock for the day, the one thing that, if completed, will make the day a success. This simple act of deciding your priorities in advance eliminates decision fatigue and allows you to move with purpose, not with chaos. Pillar 4, the physical catalyst. Move your body. Your body is the vehicle for your ambition, and it needs to be primed for performance. Movement is a catalyst for energy and mental clarity. It's not about an intense, grueling workout every morning. It's about getting your blood flowing. Whether it's a quick workout, a brisk walk, or some stretching, get your body moving. Exercise isn't just good for your physical health. It's a powerful tool for your mindset. It makes you feel strong, capable, and ready to take on the day. Pillar 5, the fuel of the mind, conscious consumption. Your mind is the engine of your success, and you must fuel it with the right information. The morning is your golden hour, a time when your mind is most receptive. Most people waste this time by consuming news, social media, and other distractions. This is a profound mistake. Instead, dedicate a few minutes to feeding your mind with empowering ideas. Read something inspiring or educational. Listen to a motivational podcast. Start your day by filling your mind with positive ideas, and you'll find that you're more focused, more motivated, and better equipped to handle challenges. Pillar 6, the architect's first act, tackle your big rock. A great morning routine isn't just about preparing to work, it's about doing the work. Once you've primed your mind and body, you must immediately tackle your most important task of the day. This is the concept of eating the frog. Your biggest, most challenging task, your big rock, is the one you are most likely to procrastinate on. But by tackling it first, you build an incredible sense of momentum and accomplishment. You win your day before it has even had a chance to challenge you. This one act of discipline will make you feel like a champion and carry you through the rest of your day with confidence. Pillar 7, the final preparation, fueling your body. Finally, a champion's morning routine is completed by fueling the vehicle. Your body needs energy to function at its best. Skipping breakfast or eating junk will only slow you down. Choose a breakfast that nourishes you, something simple but nutritious. This final act of self-care is a promise to yourself that you value your health and your energy. It is the final preparation for a day of high performance. I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have time for this. I'm not a morning person. These are the classic lies of a mind that prefers comfort to growth. But let me challenge that thought. 5 minutes for quiet reflection is less than 0.5% of your day. The question isn't whether you have the time, it's whether you'll make the time. The cost of not having a morning routine is a life of chaos, low energy, and unfulfilled potential. The cost of building one is a few minutes of discomfort. You don't have to do all of these things perfectly, and you don't have to spend hours on your routine. The key is incrementalism. Start small, choose 1 or 2 rituals, and build from there. Start with just a consistent wake-up time and 5 minutes of gratitude. Build that habit. Once it becomes automatic, add another. What matters most is that you're intentional about how you begin your day. I've seen the difference a strong morning routine can make. I've seen people go from feeling overwhelmed and unmotivated to feeling energized and in control, all because they took charge of their morning. A great morning routine doesn't just affect your morning. It affects your entire day. It gives you momentum. It helps you show up as your best self. Your morning is your launch pad. It is your chance to set the tone for the day and build the momentum you need to move closer to your goals. You now have the blueprint for a masterful morning routine. You have the 7 pillars that will serve as the foundation of your success. This is a choice. A choice to stop being a passenger in your own life and become the architect. A choice to stop letting the world dictate your day and start dictating it yourself. So, take these rituals, commit to them fully, and when you look back a year from now, you will not be the same person. You will be a master of your own destiny. Your conquest begins now. Welcome back. architects of destiny. We have traveled a great distance on our journey to master the invisible architecture of our lives. We have learned to pause, to plan, to move, to read, to set our mornings, to track our progress, and to anchor our days in gratitude. But now we stand before a principle that is perhaps the most profound and yet the most neglected of all. For a moment, I want you to imagine a magnificent skyscraper. Its foundation is deep and strong. Its steel frame is meticulously planned. It stands tall and impressive, a testament to engineering and ambition. But what if this building were a hollow shell? What if it were completely empty inside, with no light, no warmth, and no people? What good is the ambition, the strength, the impressive architecture if it is devoid of life? This, my friends, is the folly of a life focused solely on personal conquest. It is the ambition of a lone wolf who believes success is a solitary pursuit. For life is not just made up of our individual achievements, it is made up of the people we share it with. The quality of your life, the depth of your joy, and the sustainability of your success will ultimately be a mirror of the quality of your relationships. This, then, is our sixth and most crucial ritual: to focus on deep, meaningful connections. This is not just a nice to have, it is a fundamental pillar of a fulfilling life. Let's begin by dismantling a pervasive and destructive myth in our society, the myth of the self-made individual. This is the idea that true success is built alone, through sheer force of will, independent of all others. But let me tell you, a life built on isolation is inherently fragile. Think of a single tree standing alone on an open plain. Its branches may be strong, its leaves may be green, but its roots are shallow. The moment a great storm comes, a challenge, a crisis, a personal setback, that tree is easily uprooted and destroyed. But a tree that is part of a forest, a tree that has grown alongside other trees, has a different kind of strength. Its roots are intertwined with the roots of its neighbors. It provides and receives shelter, and it can withstand the fiercest wind. You are that tree. You are not meant to stand alone. The energy, support, and wisdom of others are not a crutch. They are a profound source of strength. A life devoid of deep connections is a life of missed opportunities and shallow victories. It is a life that may achieve external success but will always feel empty inside. It is a house with no warmth. Your conquest is an individual mission, but it is not a solitary journey. So how do you build this architecture of fulfillment? How do you move beyond casual acquaintances and into the realm of deep, meaningful connections? It is not by accident. It is by intentional, disciplined action. It is built on a three-pillar system. Pillar one, the discipline of presence. In a world full of noise, distraction, and constant digital bombardment, our attention is our most valuable currency. And the most generous gift you can give another person is your complete and undivided presence. Building deep connections starts with this discipline. It means making a conscious choice to be fully present when you are with someone. This requires you to actively resist the siren call of your phone. It means silencing the mental chatter of your to-do list and truly listening, not just hearing what they say, but understanding how they feel. This is a profound act of respect. It tells the other person, you matter, your words matter, your feelings matter. When was the last time you sat down with someone and gave them your full, undivided attention? If you can't remember, that is your first area for disciplined action. Pillar two, the courage of authenticity. Deep connections cannot be built on a facade. They are not built on an image of perfection. They are forged in the fires of honesty and vulnerability. The courage to be authentic means being honest about who you are, what you feel, and what you need. It means letting others see the real you, the triumphs, the struggles, the fears, and the dream. Most people are afraid to be vulnerable. They believe that showing their weakness is a sign of fragility. But in reality, vulnerability is the ultimate act of courage. It is the language of trust. When you have the courage to share your struggles, you give others permission to be human, and you create a space for a deeper, more genuine connection to form. True strength is not in pretending you have no weaknesses. It is in having the courage to show them. Pillar three, the mortar of reciprocity. A deep connection is a two-way street. It is a flow of giving and receiving. It is a relationship of reciprocity. You cannot expect to receive value from others without being willing to give value in return. This is not a one-sided transaction. It is a symbiotic relationship. It's about supporting others when they need you and celebrating with them when they succeed. It's about showing up not just when it's convenient, but when it's important. The mortar of reciprocity is built through simple daily acts of kindness, a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, a sincere compliment, or a moment of genuine encouragement. These small things matter more than you might realize. They strengthen the bond and remind both people that they are part of something bigger than themselves. Your time and energy are your most valuable resources. And the single most important choice you will make about those resources is who you choose to share them with. The people in your inner circle are not just a reflection of your current state. They are a prophecy of your future. As a master of your life, you must be intentional about who you allow into your court. This requires both a disciplined process of pruning the weeds and a strategic process of planting the seeds. Pruning the weeds. You cannot have a fulfilling life if you are surrounded by people who constantly talk about limitation, who are filled with negativity, and who drain your energy. These are the time thieves and the energy vampires. This is not about being cruel. It is about self-preservation. This is about making a tough but necessary decision to set boundaries or let go of relationships that are no longer healthy or aligned with your growth. You cannot allow these toxic relationships to consume the time and energy that you need to pursue your vision. Planting the seeds. Once you have pruned the weeds, you must proactively plant the seeds of new, supportive relationships. This means intentionally seeking out and building connections with people who are aligned with your values and your vision. This is where you find your mentors, your accountability partners, and your mastermind alliance. These are the people who will lift you up, challenge you, and hold you to your highest potential. Their belief in your vision will bolster your own, especially on days when self-doubt creeps in. Why do we do this? Why do we put so much intentional, disciplined effort into our relationships? Because the dividends of deep connection are the most valuable rewards a human being can receive. 1. Emotional capital. This is the support and strength you gain during tough times. The comfort that comes from knowing you are not alone, the joy that comes from sharing a triumph. This is the bedrock of a life well lived. R. Intellectual capital. This is the wisdom, the ideas, the insights, and the new perspective you gain from others. The best ideas in the world are not created in a vacuum. They are created in the friction of collaboration and the flow of conversation. 3. Social capital. This is the ultimate and most powerful form of currency. This is the vast network of opportunities, resources, and connections that flows to you because you have built a reputation of trust, integrity, and authenticity. In the end, success is not a solitary trophy you hold up to a cheering crowd. True success is the ability to share that trophy with the people you love. It is the ability to build not just a strong life, but a strong community around you. It is the ability to build an architecture of fulfillment, one connection at a time. This is the ultimate prize. You now have the 6 rituals to master the architecture of fulfillment. It is a path that requires intentionality, discipline, and courage. But it is a path that leads to a life that is not only productive and successful, but also rich, meaningful, and deeply connected. So I challenge you now, stop seeing relationships as an afterthought or a nice to have. Start seeing them for what they truly are, a fundamental foundational ritual of your life. Commit to the discipline of presence. Cultivate the courage of authenticity. Build the mortar of reciprocity. And begin today to build your own architecture of fulfillment, one connection at a time. Welcome back, fellow architects of destiny. We have traveled far on our journey to master the invisible architecture of our lives. We have learned to pause and reflect, to plan our days with purpose, to fuel our bodies, to feed our minds with positivity, and to build the morning routines and deep connections that create a life of fulfillment. But now, we stand at the threshold of a principle so simple, yet so profoundly powerful, that without it, all the other rituals can become a series of meaningless acts. For what good is a ship if the captain has no compass? What good is a powerful engine if the driver has no map to tell them if they are on course? This is the principle of tracking your progress and celebrating your wins. This is the vital feedback loop of success. It is the ritual that transforms your daily efforts from a random series of actions into a deliberate, measurable march toward your destiny. Most people live their lives by guesswork. They wake up with a vague hope of progress, they work hard all day, and then they go to bed with a vague feeling of being busy. They have no data. They have no clear evidence of their journey. They are like a blindfolded archer who shoots into the dark and hopes to hit a target. They rely on emotion, on a fleeting feeling of being on track, and when that feeling fades, their discipline fades with it. But a master does not guess. A master measures. A master analyzes. A master knows precisely where they are and precisely how far they have to go. This is the discipline of data. This is the ritual that turns your life from a game of chance into a game of mastery. The first and most critical step in this ritual is to understand that tracking is not a punishment. It is an act of self-sovereignty. You are the CEO of your life, and data is the most important tool you have for making intelligent decisions. Think of it like this. If a business doesn't track its sales, its expenses, or its customer feedback, it will fail. It won't know what's working, what's not, and where to invest its energy. Your life is no different. Your goals are your business, and tracking is your balance sheet. Without it, you are operating in the dark. Tracking provides a cold, hard, and undeniable truth about your efforts. It takes away the guesswork and replaces it with clarity. This is the discipline of data. You must decide today that you will no longer live by vague intentions. You will live by a clear, measurable record of your progress. So, what should you track? Track your habits. Are you consistently waking up on time? Are you completing your morning ritual? Are you moving your body every day? Track your actions. Did you make the extra sales calls you committed to? Did you write the pages you planned? Did you spend the time you set aside for deep work? Track your outcomes. What were the results of your effort? How much money did you save? How much weight did you lose? How many new connections did you make? The act of measuring something automatically brings it into focus, making you more likely to improve it. When you track your workouts, you become more aware of your diet. When you track your spending, you become more aware of your purchasing decisions. This is the law of focus in action. Your energy and attention naturally flow to what you are measuring. This is a powerful weapon in your arsenal. It is the tool that tells you with certainty if you are on the right path. It is the compass that guides your ship through the vast, unpredictable ocean of life. Now, let us talk about the second and equally vital part of this ritual, celebrating your wins. This is not a feel-good exercise. It is a fundamental psychological tool for reinforcing positive behavior. Think of the habit loop. A cue, a routine, and a reward. Most people have a cue, alarm clock, and a routine, getting out of bed, but they forget the reward. Without a reward, the habit loop breaks and your discipline fades. Celebrating your wins, big and small, is the reward that keeps the loop intact. But here is the great misconception. Most people wait for the final outcome before they allow themselves to celebrate. They tell themselves, I will be happy when I hit my big goal. They are like a mountain climber who refuses to acknowledge they have reached a base camp, a new ridge, or a small peak. They only see the summit, and because the summit is so far away, they become discouraged and give up long before they get there. The master of progress understands this is a fool's game. They celebrate every single step. They celebrate the small wins, the tiny victories that most people overlook. They celebrate the fact that they showed up. They celebrate the fact that they stayed disciplined. They celebrate the fact that they are on the path. How should you celebrate? It doesn't have to be extravagant. It could be as simple as taking a moment to genuinely acknowledge your effort, treating yourself to a favorite meal, sharing your progress with a loved one or a member of your mastermind alliance. The key is to reinforce the behavior. Every time you track your progress and celebrate a win, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. This is working. This feels good. Do it again. This builds a positive feedback loop that creates a sense of accomplishment and fuels your motivation for the road ahead. What about setbacks? What about the days when you track your progress and realize you have fallen short? The undisciplined mind sees this as a reason to quit. The master, however, sees it for what it truly is, feedback, not failure. Tracking helps you see what's working and what's not. If you track your progress and see a dip in the numbers, that is not a personal failure. It is simply data. It is a signal from reality telling you to adjust your approach. It is the compass telling you that your ship is off course and you need to make a course correction. This is the ultimate expression of control. You do not get angry. You do not blame yourself. You do not quit. You use the data to your advantage. You engage in a ruthless analysis and you ask, what did I do or not do that caused this? What weakness in my plan did this expose? What is the lesson here? How can I adjust my strategy to get back on track? The person who fears failure avoids this data. The person who seeks mastery embraces it. They see every setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. They understand that a setback is not the end of the journey, it is merely a detour. And with their compass in hand, they are always prepared to find a new route. All of these actions, tracking your progress, celebrating your wins, and treating setbacks as feedback, lead to one ultimate, profound result: unshakable self-trust. Most people struggle with confidence because they constantly break the promises they make to themselves. They say they will do something, and then they don't. And deep down, they know it. They train themselves to not believe their own word. But through this ritual, you are doing the exact opposite. Every time you track a small win, you are giving yourself undeniable evidence that you are a person of your word. Every time you celebrate that win, you are reinforcing the belief that you are capable and worthy of success. You are building an internal reservoir of self-trust, one small deposit at a time. This unshakable self-trust is the true source of lasting confidence. It is not something that comes from outside praise. It comes from within. It comes from the quiet, undeniable knowledge that you are a person who follows through, that you are a person who can be relied upon, that you are a person who is on a path of mastery. This is the final and most powerful reward of this ritual. It is the quiet confidence that allows you to face any challenge, to embrace any opportunity, and to know with an unshakable certainty that you will succeed. Because you have proven it to yourself day after day, small win after small win. So, stop living by guesswork. Stop drifting through life. Take control. Pick up your compass and your sextant. Start tracking your journey. Start celebrating your progress. And start building the kind of self-trust that will make you unstoppable. The path is clear. The time is now. Welcome and congratulations on your journey. We have explored the invisible architecture of a successful life, a series of rituals that are not just actions but principles. We have learned to begin our day with quiet reflection, to plan our tomorrow today, to move our bodies with purpose, to feed our minds with positivity, and to master our mornings. We have built deep connections, tracked our progress, and celebrated our win. But now we arrive at the final, most crucial ritual of all. It is the ritual that seals the day. It is the one that transforms the chaos of yesterday into the clarity of tomorrow. It is the practice that ensures your day, no matter how difficult, ends not in stress or worry, but in peace and a profound sense of purpose. Most people let their day run them. They let the frustrations, the disappointments, and the worries of the day follow them into their evening. They climb into bed with their minds racing, replaying every mistake, every missed opportunity, every conversation that didn't go their way. Their sleep is restless, their energy is drained, and they wake up the next morning already behind, already defeated. Their day is unanchored, and their mind is a ship adrift at sea, tossed about by the waves of their own anxiety. But the masters of their own destiny understand that you must put your day to rest with intention. You must secure it. You must find a way to quiet the mind, to calm the emotions, and to prepare your body for the restorative power of sleep. This is not about forgetting your challenges. It is about reframing them. This is not about pretending your life is perfect. It is about choosing to see the value in it. This is the eighth and final ritual, the art of practicing gratitude before rest. Let us begin by dissecting the common end-of-day experience that robs most people of their potential. For the unanchored mind, the evening is not a time for rest. It is a time for the mind to work overtime, often against its own best interests. It is a time for rumination, for regret, for the endless loop of what if and if only. You may have heard the expression, don't go to bed angry. But most people go to bed with a profound sense of emotional debt. They have an unexamined frustration from a difficult meeting. They have a gnawing regret about an action they took or failed to take. They have an unresolved sense of lack, of not being enough, of not having enough. And these feelings are a corrosive poison. They seep into the subconscious during sleep, leaving the mind and body stressed, tense, and unprepared for the challenges of a new day. This is the folly of a day without closure. You cannot move forward effectively if you are constantly dragging the weight of yesterday's unexamined burdens behind you. You must put the day to rest. You must find a final anchor, a final ritual that allows you to release the day's events and move into a state of peace and possibility. Gratitude is that anchor. It is the single most powerful tool for closing the mental loops of the day, for calming the emotions, and for consciously choosing a mindset of peace before you surrender to sleep. Gratitude is not just a nice thought. It is a mental discipline. It is a conscious, deliberate choice to override your brain's natural tendency toward negativity. Your mind, by its very nature, is a problem-solving machine. It is designed to find what is wrong, to identify threats, and to focus on what is missing. This served us well in the wild, but in modern life, it can become a profound liability. So, the discipline of gratitude is a conscious override of this default setting. It is the act of turning your mind's focus from what is wrong to what is right, from what you lack to what you have, from what you lost to what you gained. This isn't about ignoring problems. It is about refusing to let problems be the final word of your day. It is about actively searching for and finding the richness that exists even in the midst of adversity. The first step in this discipline is the search for the unseen. It is about training your mind to notice the small, beautiful moments that are often overlooked. It could be the warmth of a good meal, the laughter you shared with a friend, the feeling of deep focus you had during a challenging task, the kindness of a stranger. These are the small, profound moments that make up the fabric of a rich life. Your job as a master of your own mind is to actively search for these moments and bring them to the forefront of your awareness. The second step is the language of appreciation. You must not only think grateful thoughts, you must articulate them. You must give them a voice. This is a powerful form of self-talk. You must say, I am thankful for the challenge that taught me a lesson, or I am grateful for the progress I made today, no matter how small. This act of articulation, whether spoken or written, solidifies the feeling of gratitude in your mind and makes it a tangible force in your life. To make gratitude a powerful, transformative ritual, you must give it structure. It must not be a vague thought. It must be a clear, deliberate protocol. Step one, the uninterrupted moment. Before you do anything else to prepare for bed, you must create a moment of stillness. This is the moment to put away your phone, turn off the television, and find a quiet space. This is your mental sanctuary, a place where you can be alone with your thoughts and your gratitude. Step two, the gratitude journal. Take out a journal, a notebook, or even a simple piece of paper. The act of physically writing down your thoughts is a profound way to make them real. Write down at least 3 things you are thankful for today. But go beyond the surface level. Instead of I'm grateful for my job, write I'm grateful for the opportunity my job gives me to solve complex problems and provide value to others. The more specific you are, the deeper the feeling of gratitude will be. Step 3, the mind-body connection. As you reflect on what you have written, take a few slow, deep breaths. Inhale the peace that comes with gratitude and exhale the stress and tension of the day. This simple combination of mental focus and physical relaxation is the perfect way to prepare your body for a restorative night's sleep. Your mind and body will be in a state of calm alignment, allowing you to rest deeply and wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and ready to conquer. Ultimately, gratitude is a choice. It is a profound, life-altering decision to stop complaining and start creating. The ungrateful mind is a complaining mind. It focuses on what is wrong, what is missing, and who is to blame. This mindset is a profound creative block. It cannot see opportunities because it is blinded by problems. It cannot find solutions because it is paralyzed by a sense of lack. But the grateful mind is a creative mind. It sees possibility everywhere. It is not bogged down by what is missing. It is energized by what is already present. It operates from a place of abundance, and from that place it sees solutions, opportunities, and paths forward that the complaining mind would never notice. A grateful mind is not a naive mind. It is a disciplined mind. It is a mind that has trained itself to see the lessons and the challenges, the opportunities and the setbacks, and the abundance in the everyday. This is the ultimate form of self-empowerment. It is the realization that you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can always control your perspective. By making gratitude the final, non-negotiable ritual of your day, you are making a powerful choice. You are choosing to end your day not with a tally of what went wrong, but with a celebration of what went right. You are choosing to end your day not in a state of stress, but in a state of peace. And from that place of peace, you are planting the seeds for a future filled with clarity, purpose, and profound possibility. Your day is a gift, ended with gratitude. And watch as this one simple ritual transforms not only your evenings, but your entire life. You now have the 8 daily rituals that will be the invisible architecture of your life. You have the blueprint for a life of profound progress. You will begin with quiet reflection, having the clarity to know where you stand. You will then master your time with planning tomorrow today, refusing to drift through life. You will fuel your body and mind by moving your body daily. You will fortify your mindset by feeding your mind positivity.
You will build unstoppable momentum with mastering your morning routine. You will strengthen your support with focusing on deep connections. You will stay motivated by tracking progress and celebrating wins.
And you will end each day with peace by practicing gratitude before rest. The secret to success is not a magic formula. It is a decision. It is a commitment. It is the result of the choices you make every single day. So, take these 8 rituals, commit to them fully. And when you look back a year from now, you will not be the same person. You will be a creator of circumstance. You will be a master of your own destiny. Your conquest begins now. This journey of mastery begins now. If you're committed to this path, then take your final step for today. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Your future self will thank you.